Hey, it's Tom Halpin. It's time for Daily Habits Friday. Today, I want to talk to you about the daily habit of negotiation. I just finished a talk on this last week with a Central Michigan class, and I want to share a few things that have worked really well for me. So I think a lot of salespeople think negotiation starts once a proposal is generated. I think that's flawed thinking. I actually think negotiation starts from the very first conversation with a prospect. Let me explain what I mean. I don't mean that you're talking about terms of the deal, but I do mean that you should be positioning your product or service in a way that helps the customer understand where it is you fit within the competitive landscape. Okay? So position your product or service early. That way, by the time you get to the end of the sales process, the customer is less likely to be surprised. And also throughout, if you position properly, each party, buyer and seller, signs up for the next step in the sales process, or they self-qualify out. That's not a bad thing. So negotiate early by positioning your product or service from the very first conversation. Next, when you get through the sales process and it's time to issue a proposal, give the customer options. So maybe good, better, and best deliverables, options 1, 2, and 3. Break down the deliverable and the fee or price associated with each option. Here's what you're doing. You're telling the customer you're willing to work with a variety of budgets. You're also priming the pump and framing the conversation should they want to negotiate. For example, if they come back to you and say, hey, I want a discount, well, they should automatically assume they're going to see a discount in deliverable. So give the customer options. Now, if you're in a situation as a salesperson where you always feel like the customer has leverage, there's probably a few things going on. One, you probably don't have a very compelling product or service. Okay. And so if the customer is in a position to say, well, status quo is just fine, or I can go to multiple sources and get the same product for the same quality, you're always going to be negotiating from a position of weakness. The other thing that could be going on is if a customer or prospect is unwilling to share their success criteria, or stated differently, what they're willing to get or what they want to get out of the relationship, it's going to be very hard to negotiate because they're not being transparent. Okay? So I hope those pointers help you. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear how negotiation works for you. Let's create a little dialogue. Hope that helps. Have a great weekend.